Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is how to make a thumbnail for MapleStory for YouTube. Now this video was actually uploaded yesterday, but for some reason the wrong one was uploaded, even though it was the right one. But I don't know, the file, something happened with the file, and I can't find it, so I have to remake the video again. So here it is, how to make a thumbnail for YouTube for MapleStory. So you're gonna go to Photoshop, you're gonna go to File, you're gonna go to New, you're gonna go to 1920 by 1080p. Doesn't matter what the name is, you're gonna have the file right here. Now the next step is to focus on the background. Now the background is the least important, but you don't want the background to be white or black. You want to have a background. Now if you're gonna do, let's just say for example, a pre-quest to a boss, let's just say we're gonna use Magnus for example, or let's just say you're gonna do a quest for something, like an item quest or like a leveling guide. It's best to use a background similar to the topic. Okay, so let's say we're gonna do a Magnus pre-quest video or a Magnus video. I'm going to use the background to Magnus because it just makes more sense, and people are already familiar with the colors, and it just makes more sense to use the background. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just screenshot it. Now I'm using a different screenshot tool. It's called Light Shot. A link will be in the description below. And I just highlight like that, and then yeah, I just do that. I don't know if you actually saw that. I don't know if it picked it, if the recording program picked it up. Probably did not, but what I did I pretty much just screenshotted my screen, and I'm not screenshotting this right here at the top. I'm not screenshotting my character. I'm not screenshotting this stuff at the bottom. So, let's close this. So what I'm gonna put this in right here, and then I'm gonna line it up, stretch it out, make sure it fits. You see this quality is like kind of like meh, right? But the quality, it will, once you hit place, it will go back. So now it looks like this. Now I'm gonna crop this stuff. Crop the stuff I don't want. I don't want my character in there. I don't want the black bars to be in there. And then I just go to crop. Now we have the background. What's next thing? What I would recommend doing? I'm just gonna enlarge this so you can see it easier. And I'll just even zoom in a bit too as well. So now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to filter and I'm gonna go to blur. These are blur effects. You can try which one works for you. I'm just gonna use box blur for example. And you can see it has a blur effect. The reason why I like using blur effects is because it's it makes the background less distracting, especially if there's too many things going on. So you can fool around with what you like, how blurry you want it to be. So I'm just gonna keep it like, maybe we'll keep it like 4 or something. We'll keep it like that. So it's a bit blurry, right? I'm just gonna close this out like this, and I'm just gonna zoom out so you can see it easier. Okay, so now that we have the background, the next thing that I like to do, and maybe bring the next thing that I like to do is go on Google, and I like to type, MapleStory Magnus. And what my video is right here already. So what I do is I go to images, and I like to find an image of the topic of what I'm going to do, right? So for example, we're doing a Magnus, right? So you see here, there's Magnus right here, and I like to use the smooth ones. You don't want to use stuff like, I don't know, like this or something, because this is stuff that people created. You want to use the stuff from the actual game, So I'm gonna use this one because it's nice and smooth, and the gray and white boxes just means it's transparent. So I already have it saved on my desktop already, so here it is. So we're gonna use this. I'm just gonna paste this onto here. I'm just gonna line it up over here. It doesn't matter how you want it. You can like rotate it or whatever. Try what works for you, what you like, So I'm just gonna keep it like that, and enlarge it a little bit more like that. And hit the place, and that's it. That's it for this. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to make the name. So let's say I want to give it a title, right? So I'm gonna make it let's say Magnus. I'm just gonna move it over a bit so you can see it, Magnus, and then I'm gonna go down, and it will be pre-quest, and I guess I can have it say 2017. Just gonna go up just to adjust the letters, more space, and yeah. So then I'm going to, right here is how you change the size. So maybe I want to be 330. Maybe it's a little bit smaller so it's easier to see. Part of his face is blocked, but it's all good. I can just go here. I can always click here, click on the moving tool right here, and I can always move them a little bit more like that. Okay, so now with the text, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the text right here. I'm going to right click, hit blending options. I'm gonna hit stroke, make sure it's check mark, make sure you're clicking it, and I like to use 15. Okay, and you see it has like an outline on on the letters. It just makes it easier to read that way. And then I like to use drop shadows because it just has like a certain shadow effect. You can fool around with these right here, which one you like. You know, see which one. That's like way too much blur. I what works for me, I usually do 40, 50, and 70, and it has like this nice fade effect right here. And you can even change this, fool around with this, to even more fade. And I just like to do that because it makes it's easier to read what it says, you know, and I think that's very important. I have a picture of what the topic is, and then I have the text of it, and then the background, I have the background there. It just makes everything look simple, clean, and simple, right? So that's what I like doing. And that's pretty much it right there. It's that like I made this right here super fast, and the first time you do it might take a long time, but once you get used to doing this over and over, it gets better. Now I like to use the yellow text, the yellow coloring for the font because it pops out at the eye. Also, I'm using this American Captain font. Links will always be in the description below, and I like to use fonts like that because it just looks clean. It's easier to read. You don't want to take things that are too fancy because it makes it a lot harder to read. So um, this is that's how I make my thumbnails. Okay. Now I am going to close this, and now I'm going to show you a. Oh wait, actually no, wait, hold on. There's one more thing. With this right here, I'm going to go back on Google and I'm going to go to Hidden Street right here, right? Hidden Street. Let's try Trident. And these are the items that you usually get in the Magnus area. So let's just say if you have like a type of item, as you see, I'm dragging it right here, putting it onto the desktop, going back to Google, dragging it, going onto the desktop, okay? If I go back to the site, there's equipment, items, there's a whole bunch of stuff right here. Monsters, I can find a monster that I want to just put into here. So I can just drag this and put it into here. I think I'm lagging. There we go. And it's like a little small circle right here. If you can see that there's like an arrow, so you can easily enlarge it. So I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna hit place, and that's how like if I want to add like a monster, like more monsters or something, this is what I use. And yeah, there's a belt here, right? And just hit place, and that's pretty much it. You know. And if you want your, what if I wanted to move it like this? Move like this. If I want, I can take this right here. You can see I'm doing right here, and I can move it underneath the text so you can't see it, and then I can just like move it more like that. And that's how I make my thumbnail. Now, so this once again is Hidden Street, and this is where I get like all of my like icons, my items. You know, when I'm putting it into the thumbnail, they're transparent backgrounds. Really good site. Next thing I want to talk about is Canva. If you do not have Photoshop, Canva is pretty good because you can go here, edit this template. There's also this one too as well. Edit this template, and let's wait for these to load. So let's check this one. So this one right here, you can pretty much make the thumbnail here. Let's say I want it to be 2017, and I want to change the font. There we go. Just move it down over here or something. Popular travel destinations for Maple, you know, like, and then change the font, you know, just, and you can always change the background too as well, so check that out. And then there's also this one too as well. So very easy thumbnails that you can make if you do not have Photoshop. Once again, the font that I was using for Photoshop was called American Captain font. Link will be in the description below. And then what I like to do is I like to type YouTube thumbnails, and this gives me ideas of like it shows different styles of thumbnails, and it kind of gives you an idea. So I like to use this. So let's say this one says it's like a YouTube. Maybe I wanted to have like Maple Story or something, or maybe I'm liking this type of thumbnail or something, or you know, just stuff like that. You know, like this thumbnail right here. it looks really fancy, but too many things pop out. I don't even know what the font says, and it's also the font's also kind of hard to read too. It's like a 3 or an E or something. It looks kind of hard, and everything's just like popping out at me. It's too much. Like this one here, you can clearly see the what the text says, and just keep pay attention to things like that, So yeah, I like to just like literally just type YouTube thumbnails just to get like different ideas. Now, a lot of people they like to put their character in their thumbnails. So what I'd recommend doing is you can go to a map in the game, and just a black background. You can do that. Or if you don't want to do it, if you want to have if you want your character to do some type of pose, you can go to band story. I'm not gonna show you how to use it. A link will be in the description below. But band story, pretty much you can make your character like you can change the pose, and you can easily make your character on band story, and then uh, the background will be transparent, and then you can easily just put it into the Photoshop. So you can do that as well. And yep, that is pretty much it. Oh wait, hold on. One last thing. Like you see these thumbnails, like this right here is the average size that people are going to see your thumbnail when they're searching it up or they're looking at it on their mobile. So make sure the font is a decent size, so they can easily read what the text says on the thumbnail. Also, there's a watch later, and there's also a timer right here of how much time of how long the video is. So keep that in mind that like part of it's going to be taken up by the time at the bottom. And the best thing about thumbnails is that you can always go back and change it. Like this thumbnail right here, when I first made this video, the thumbnail was like really bad, and then I just recently changed it like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, so it's better now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I make my thumbnails, and just try to focus a lot on the pictures. Like this is like a cubing video, so there's all these cubes everywhere, and then I have my character. I think the text should have been a little bit bigger because it's kind of hard to read. Um, but yeah, uh, fool around with stuff like that. You don't need to add shadows. Sometimes you don't need to add shadows in everything. That's just my style. That's what I like. You can just add like an outline of like black or something, like a black outline on the text. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one.